welcome to a very special edition of Good Sports. I'm sports writer Quintin Harlan.
And I'm George Bremer.
And we'd like to thank you first off for clicking on to www.theheraldbulletin.com.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, I almost got that one out clean, but hey. But no, on the matter at hand, we're here to talk to you a little bit about the Nick Muller Memorial Baseball Tournament and Nick Muller himself as a person. George and I both worked with Nick. We both knew Nick. He was a really good kid. He was 16 years old and lost his life in a car accident. And through a lot of initiative, ingenuity, or just somebody having an idea on something, I don't know, something inspired, we have the Nick Muller Memorial Baseball Tournament. And
absolutely.
Former Anderson High School athletic director P.T. Morgan, baseball coach Terry Turner, former Harlan sports editor Tim Allen, and Mike Cornell from the Payne Financial. Yeah, I just want to make sure I got that right. We're some of the big guys that helped get it involved. There's a lot of people, too many that mentioned this little clip here, but
it's been 9 years. I mean, I was there, and I, you can remember bits and pieces of it, but I think the biggest thing that I remember, and probably the biggest thing about the tournament, was that we wanted, and again I say we, but it in the Herald Bulletin Sports Department, Anderson High School together. We wanted to make sure that this was going to be something that remembered Nick in a way that celebrated his life. He's obviously a big baseball fan and a guy that liked to have a lot of fun. And so far this tournament has been a lot of fun.
Like you said, it's been 9 years since this thing got going, and we've had a lot of fun doing it. Me from not only covering it, but also being the voice at Memorial Field over the public address, playing the music, having a good time. And all of it's about remembering our friend, having some fun watching some baseball, raising money for a great cause, which is organ donation and awareness thereof. And there's stories like this unfortunately all the time, where someone too young loses their life too soon.
And we just had one in the majors.
Exactly. And through consciousness that I can't comprehend, Nick was an organ donor at age 16. And I know I didn't fill it out the back of my driver's license until probably the second time I got one.
I didn't do it until after the first time I got it, after he died.
And what we want to do is, honestly, we've got stories from the tournament that can fill a book. But nobody has that much time right now. Yeah, pick a day, pick a game, pick a team. But what we want to do is tell some of our favorite stories about Nick himself, both here at work and as a student, athlete at Anderson High School. And why don't you go and start us off here?
I think my number one memory of him, and I apologize to anybody who knows me because I've told this story probably 200 times, but Nick was, and it's no great secret, Nick was a huge Cubs fan, and I still am a huge White Sox fan. Hence the Cub hat. So there was a lot of good-natured back and forth there. That's a great part of Nick, is that he could dish it out, but he could take it too.
Right.
And this particular day, Ron Ventura is my favorite White Sox player, and I used to have a bunch of figures on my desk that depicted Ventura with the White Sox. This off season in question here, he had just moved on to the Mets, and I came in one day. Nick had worked the night before, and I go up to my figures, and there's these little yellow Post-it notes over each one over the White Sox logo that just said Mets. And immediately, I did not have to ask who had done it, but it's one of those things where everybody laughed.
Yes.
Everybody in the sports department. That was what Nick brought to us on a daily basis.
Yeah. Well, before I get into this, excuse me a second. All right, now we're in the right frame of mind here, because like I said in my column this past week, Nick always seemed to have a Cubs hat surgically attached to his head. It was always backwards.
Always backwards.
Yeah, so we apologize for the no plain white T-shirts and faded blue jeans, but,
dress code.
We're at work, and we got a dress code here, so. But, no, one of my favorite stories about Nick, and I told the one about, him catching the no-hitter after Anderson's starting catcher got hit in the throat by a warm-up pitch, the way he scored his run by stomping on home plate and then doing the military-style turn. But the one I want to talk about is his Batter Up song, which became kind of the unofficial theme for the Nick Muller tourney while it was still announced in Memorial Field. His theme was, I believe that the official name was Danger Zone. It was Ken Shamrock's entrance music when he was working for Vince McMahon, the World Wrestling Federation at the time. And when these guys said they came up to me during basketball season and said, yeah, we'd like to have batter up songs and all this stuff. And they were like, we don't care what you do. And I went and saw them at practice one day, and I'm like, well, what do you guys want to do? You want to pick your own stuff, or you want to do wrestlers' music? What? And he goes, yeah, wrestlers' music, that's cool. So I found some songs from guys in the old World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and World Wrestling Federation, WWF, WWE, or whatever. And we're going through the songs and all this. And Nick is like, I wouldn't mind having like Stone Cold Steve Austin's instruments music. I mean, he's the biggest wrestler in the world at the time. But Kevin Buckner's my best friend. He likes that, so he can have that. And so me and Nick were like, okay, well, let's see what we can find for us. So I'm playing some clips, and I start Shamrocks, and he just liked the way they had the big bell and all that stuff, Sing When Those Times Go. He's like, yeah, I like that. I'm like, okay, that's you. So the first time we get to play it, he walks up there, and he's like, and you know how Nick was. He's shaking his shoulders, all this stuff. I'm like, okay, no big deal. Second time he comes up, I don't know if anybody that's a hardcore wrestling fan. Remember how Ken Shamrock's entrances were, how he'd walk down the ring, stop on the steps, and psych himself up, then punch himself in the side of the head? Nick didn't really do that full on, but he's doing, the little pop your neck, roll your shoulders, and with his free hand, the one wasn't holding the baseball bat, pop himself upside the head. I just thought, I'm creating a monster here.
That was Nick.
And that was Nick. And all we can say to, I guess, wrap this up on the tournament is, it's a great day. I mean, Muller Saturday is probably one of our favorite days on the calendar. And we're always praying, and I mean this literally, we are praying for good weather. Even if it's, slightly chilly, we just want some sun, no rain, a little wind. And we just want go out, see some good baseball, good price, great cause.
Take your family.
Take your family, take your friends. I mean, it's a baseball game. If nothing else, park out at the Memorial Field outfield, start a tailgate party.
Absolutely.
Have a great time. And, like I said again, Muller Saturday is very, very special.
And I know if the county tournament had come together any other way, Nick would be the front and center in those bleachers.
What did you and me talk about 9 years ago when this all came to fruition?
He'd be the first guy saying,
the first one.
Why are you naming this tournament after me?
Probably smack us upside the head.
But, ultimately, I can't think of any better tribute to the kid he was.
Yeah.
And to have something that, Nick would want to be a part of.
Exactly.
And so, I just hope that everybody goes out there and remembers, have fun, and most of all, smile.
Exactly. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for going down memory lane with us. We'll see you later.